Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, why I'm not a big fan of bulking, especially the way people bulk nowadays. They're doing it all wrong. You're already overweight. They decide to go on a bulk to put quality mass on, but then they realize that it's all fat once they have to cut it all down, all right? They're basically delaying their suffering and they just want to put mass on, but it's mostly fat, all right? They're doing it the wrong way, and I'll tell you 3 drawbacks of bulking. Now, before you think I'm anti-bulking, I'm not. I'm bulking right now, but you see I stay fairly lean. I'll explain to you how at the end of the video and some tips for bulking the right way. But I want to talk about 3 drawbacks of how people are bulking nowadays and the 3 drawbacks of over bulking. All right, let's start by the first. When you're at a high body fat percentage, let's say 20%, when you stop seeing your abs, you have fat under your chest, you have some love handles, it's not wise to bulk, because at that point, when you reach that body fat percentage, your body starts converting your testosterone levels to estrogen. Testosterone, you need it to build muscle mass, to burn body fat, to feel optimal, to feel good. All right, well, at that point, because of all the stress on your body starts converting testosterone, all right, the hormone that you need to build muscle and to feel at your best, to estrogen, all right? That's why we see a lot of people with man boobs, we see a lot of people with a lot of fat around their waist, a lot of fat around their glutes, all right? A lot of that is hormonal, all right? So it's not wise to stay at that body fat percentage. Your body's sending you signs, all right? Once you get leaner, you see that your hormones fall into place, the balance gets back where you want it to be, all right? Your testosterone level are just so much higher. When I'm leaner, I wake up in the morning, I'm full of energy, I'm aggressive, well, in the right way. I want to go to the gym and I just feel at my best, all right? When I'm bulking, I'm heavier, I have a bit more body fat percentage, but I feel like I'm just kind of draining through the day, all right? Not ideal. So the hormonal effect, and that is huge. That is one of the most important one. All right, trust me, your testosterone drops, your estrogen goes up. You don't want that. Okay, so yeah, that's number 1. You don't want to be at higher than 20% body fat. I would never allow myself to do it. I used to do it back in the days when I wanted to bulk and thinking that it's gonna just help me be stronger, which is that's a certain point. But then after a certain point, you're just adding more fat, you're messing up your hormones, and it's just not ideal. All right, so I would say max, if you're bulking, max, go to 18-20%. That would be it. 18%. All right, let's stick to that. When you start seeing those love handles hanging at your chest, kind of developing fat under your chest, stop the bulk, all right, and go on a mini cut. I'll explain to that later. What is a mini cut? Super important. You know what, let's explain it later. So number 2, your response to insulin, all right? That's number 2. You become what we call insulin resistant, all right? When you're bulking for a while, all right? Let me give you back this analogy of the sponge. So when you're over bulking, you're bulking for a while. You're basically feeding your body calories, carbs. You're in a surplus every single day. Your body becomes like a very wet sponge, all right? A wet sponge like this one will not absorb any more water because it's already full of water. So basically, if I'll put more water, I'll basically lose it because it's already at full capacity. And that's how your muscles are. Your muscles can't just absorb 1,000 or 2,000 calories surplus every single day because there's a limit, all right? It's not possible, or otherwise we would just have bulked at 5,000 calories every day and became huge in 2-3 days. It doesn't work like that. Your muscles need small surplus, okay? But when you're overfeeding those calories for a little while, your muscle stops absorbing the food as well, and we call it insulin resistant. So now you're eating, but the food is not going to your muscles. Your blood sugar stays high because now your insulin goes, and your insulin want to pick up those nutrients and send them to the muscle, but the muscles close their door because they're like, we don't need that extra food. So where do they go? They just stay in your bloodstream, so your blood sugar stay elevated, and then at the end they will be stored as fat if you don't need them. But the end of the story, also it can cause type 2 diabetes, but that's not the point. It's just that you're basically eating more, but your muscles are not absorbing it. All right, so why would you do that? Not ideal. So basically you're just getting heavier but not stronger. You're not getting bigger. Your muscles are not expanding, but you're just getting heavier. All right, so that's what we call being insulin resistant. When you're on a bulk, you eat a banana or you eat a honey, you kind of not feel it as much as when you're on a cut. You're on a cut, your body is like a dry sponge. You give it 1 drop of water, boom, it's gonna absorb it. Your muscles fill up so fast and your body absorbs those nutrients so fast. But when you're on a bulk, your muscles are just full. You don't absorb the food as good. And that's where it's important to go on a mini cut or on a mini bulk, just to get your insulin sensitivity back. All right, I tell people bulk for a month, mini cut for 1 week. That is a good rule, all right? Bulk for a month and then boom, 1 week of a mini cut. Get back your insulin sensitivity, get your body hungry again, get your hormones kind of back in order, and then you can go back on your bulk. And you can always make sure in that way that you keep your body fat percentage controlled, all right? It's just a game changer. Trust me, the body loves cycles. When you're doing the same thing over and over and you keep doing it, your body at a certain point will start reacting the right way and you'll start having more drawbacks, all right? So mini cuts, mini bulks, very important. Don't go to the point where you're insulin resistant and you're just eating and getting fatter, but you're not getting stronger. It's not just about the weight on the scale. If you gain 5 pounds, but you're not any bigger muscle-wise or you're not any stronger, well, it's time to stop that bulk, all right? And kind of reevaluate things. I would go on a mini cut a week, 2 weeks, doesn't matter how long it takes you to feel like you're gaining back that you're going back to the place where you want it to be, all right? Number 3 is the stress you're putting on your body over bulking for a long time or bulking for a long time, being at that high body fat percentage. It's a stress on the body. Being heavy is a stress on the body. Can you imagine walking every single day at 220 pounds, 230 pounds? If you're 5'8", 5'7", it's heavy, all right? And it's a stress on your body. You're holding that weight everywhere. And now when your body, as soon as your body is stressed, your stress hormone cortisol gets elevated, and cortisol is against testosterone. So let's say cortisol and testosterone are enemies. As soon as cortisol is up, your testosterone levels drop. All right, going back to the testosterone, we need it to build muscle mass. We need it to be optimal. All right, it's the main male hormone. All right, so if you're frequently stressed and putting that extra stress on your body, your testosterone level drops, which is not any more ideal to build muscle mass. All right, so you're heavy, but it's counterproductive. All right, so you gotta understand that, guys. A lot of people stay stuck in that region where they're heavy, they're not gaining more muscle mass, they're stressing their body, and it's a vicious cycle, all right? It can happen the same thing when you're on a cut for a long time, all right? Because cutting calories on your body can also stress your body, affects your metabolism, and so on and so forth. So we gotta find that just a medium balance, all right? We gotta find that sweet spot. And my way of bulking, you see now I'm bulking, but I'm not, I don't think I'm very fat, all right? I keep my body fat percentage very controlled, and it's not because I want to look good. It's because of all the benefits that it's gonna give to my testosterone levels, my hormones. I'm just gonna feel amazing every single day, all right? I'll have the energy. People, when they're bulking, they're just feeling like they're tired all the time. You eat that big meal of carbs because you're insulin resistant, the blood sugar stays high, you're tired. I don't want to feel that way, all right? So what I do mini cuts in my bulk, all right? I make sure that I don't overdo the carbs. I make sure that my surplus is very light, all right? Very light surplus. I was hearing one time a bodybuilder, Ivan Santopani, saying that women, when they're pregnant, they can basically build another body, another human inside of them, just with a little surplus. So 200, 300 calories in a surplus, and they're building a new baby. And you think that because you want to build a bit more muscles, you gotta go in a 2,000 calorie surplus and eat McDonald's and Kit Kat all day. No way, you're just getting fatter. It's not ideal for your body. You're messing up your body, and you're using that as an excuse of I'm bulking. Now, little surplus, mini cuts, and I always make sure to keep my cardio in, all right? That's my trip, that's my tips. Little surplus, 200, 300, all right? Always cardio in, walking every single day. Whether you're bulking or cutting, you gotta do your cardio. And what was the last one? Mini cuts. So even when I'm bulking, I'll go on a mini cut 1 week. I'll lower my carbs, lower my calories, make sure that my body is like that sponge that is drying out. So once I feed it back calories, boom, my muscles absorb it. All right. I have a lot more tips, but those are the main ones. I would say also another tip is not eating carbs every single meal, but this will depend on each person. So that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you liked it. Yeah, carb cycling. Hopefully you like it. Leave a like, leave a comment. I want to see you guys comment. I'll see you soon. Ciao.